It's a discretionary thing. The man that sets up his business knows what he wants to build up his business. Imposing gender issue, it's overbearing. It shouldn't be an issue. We shouldn't, because the federal government made a decision on gender. Therefore, companies that are privately owned companies should be involved in gender. That's my belief about it. So allow the owners of the business to run their businesses the way they feel it will give them synergy and to achieve the purpose of setting up the business. If the business call through discretion that we should have 100% female, it's nobody's headache. But when it is imposed and it's being made as a policy that without it, you probably will not get your account approved, it becomes another issue altogether.
So how would you want to react to the dividend declaration of the company, of the banks?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the banks are not actually doing what they ought to do because the real sector is not growing. What is just happening is that the central bank will ask them to place money in treasury bill and all this, and those are static monies. Those are monies that goes to federal government for whatever service and deficits they are actually to overcome. But the issue is that leave the banks to manage their affairs. Let them give money to real sector and grow the economy. Today the economy is not growing because there is overregulation in place. You can imagine tying down 81 billion naira of an institution, which is the effort of the institution. It's not the taxpayers' money. So it is wrong. We're actually driving we are putting the cart, the horse before the cart. That's what we are doing. And if you put, what do I put? If you put the cart ahead of the horse, who drives the whole thing? So I think I am right by saying they put the cart before the horse. So it is very wrong. Look at the economy. So many people are suffering. You can't go to the bank and ask them to support a project. They cannot because they do not have the money. In AMCON, they came and took the assets, which of course you would have continued to discuss with your clients, and gave them what is called bond that you cannot discount to make money from it. That means that those bonds are useless. So those are the points I'm making.
About 20 companies were recently delisted from the stock exchange. And going by the calculations of the whole shareholders' funds tied down there, it's amounting to about 250 billion naira. What's your take on all of this, considering delisting in the situation we have in Nigeria?
There are two categories of delisting that happened on the exchange. One was a voluntary delisting by 2 or 3 of the big companies. The other was enforcement of the law of listing. On all this, we have not been protected by the regulatory authorities because they were the same people that gave them the go-ahead to delist without even taking into consideration that there could be more at stake than they thought. Because in the first place, we invested because we were told that there are Nigerian Stock Exchange approval, there are SEC approval, and there are parties to the offer itself. And there are, in fact, we also heard that there are trustees backing some of these offers. And the duty of the trustee is to ensure that they recover for the investing public what is to be lost in the deal. All this they have not done. And I believe that keeping quiet does not weaken us. Probably some group of people will still be thinking on how to take actions to recover these things. Just like we took action on stock exchange against manipulation. I'm quite sure if the Shareholders Association that knows their the role that they are supposed to play should also be able to take some actions that will show seriousness on the part of Shareholders Association.